Hi, fourth graders. We are ready for Chapter 2, titled 5 o'clock. Our objective today is that we will be able to determine the point of view the author uses in our story. So remember, before you go any farther, please be sure you have read the second chapter, titled 5 o'clock. Let me fix that. And that's on pages 7 through 16. So pause this video, hop over and read. You can read in your book or you can listen ahead on Seesaw as it's read aloud to you. To the next chapter, 5 o'clock. Once you're done, hop back over and we'll talk about point of view. So now that we've read our chapter, we're going to think about the point of view of our story. So for us to understand how to figure that out, we need to understand what point of view is. And that just means a way of thinking or how we look at something. And so authors use different points of view when they are writing a story. We can have first person. And first person is when the story is told from his or her point of view, and it's through someone's eyes. We hear words like I and me or my in first person. Okay. Another way the author can write and narrate the story is second person, and this places the reader in the story, and you hear words like you. And the last way that the author can describe our point of view is third person. And this person is outside of the story, and they can see everybody's thoughts. And so they have the whole view from the whole perspective and use words like he and she and they. And so if we understand the different perspectives and the different point of view, we need to determine what point of view the author uses in our story, Night of the Twisters. And so we have a couple of different steps to take. First, we would read the passage and we would decide what we have. Okay, we have to read the story. It helps to cross out the dialogue. This is where we find quotation marks. This could be spoken words or just thoughts. And sometimes the author will use italicized font on those thoughts. Our next step is to really focus on those pronouns. Fourth graders, remember, pronouns are words that replace nouns. Those are those I, me, my, okay, you, your, he, she, they, them. Those are pronouns. They replace regular nouns. And so if we can really pinpoint when the author and the speaker is talking about and they use I and me, we would say that that's in the first person. If we hear a lot of the speaker saying you, referring to the reader, we would say that's second person. Now, sometimes you might see pronouns in this first person category and third person. And we said if we hear both of those pronouns, we would choose first person. Friends, most often, if a character is telling the story from their eyes, their perspective, then we're dealing with first person. So I want us to think about, if we chose first person, we want to understand why did the author decide to make our story from the first person point of view? Now we know that Dan Hatch is telling our story. After we read As Told by Dan Hatch and after we read 5 o'clock, Dan tells the story. And as the readers, that helps us really feel like we get to experience the events. We can make connections to Dan and the other characters, and we can even imagine ourselves in the Night of the Twisters. And so that's the author's goal as they chose to write in first person. So here's what you're going to do today on Seesaw. You are going to practice determining the point of view. Now, I already shared with you that the point of view of Night of the Twisters is that first person. Dan, our character in the story, is narrating and telling the story from his perspective. But I want you to go through and do these steps. And this will be on your slide for Seesaw. You'll first need to read this passage. You're going to cross out, using your pen, the dialogue. So that's the part when someone is talking. I want you to pay attention to the pronouns and circle those in green. Okay. For the I, me, my, you, yours, he, she, they. And then I want you to highlight, is this first person, second person, or third person? Now, I know that if you have watched through all this video, you already know that we said it's first person. I want to see the evidence here and why that is. So finish that assignment on Seesaw and you're done with reading for the day.